StrayAllDay.com.
You're now tuned into the show where you learn the discipline to show up day after day to do the work, confidence to put yourself out there boldly and authentically, and the mental toughness to continue showing up, doing the work, putting yourself out there, even when the success you've expected to achieve has yet to be achieved. And on top of all this, you get a huge dose of personal initiative. What is that? That is the go-getter energy that moves any one of us, including yourself, to go and make things happen instead of waiting for things to happen. And then we put all this together into a series of frameworks, approaches, insights, strategies, and techniques, all underneath the umbrella of one unifying philosophy that is called Work on Your Game. My name is Dre Baldwin, also known as Dre All Day, and welcome to the show. And today's topic is how to build a great reputation, how to build your reputation. Before we get started, though, let me tell everybody, I send out a text message free of charge every single morning. This message is guaranteed to have you focused, sharp, and on point to start your day. I even gave it a name. I call it Daily Motivation. And I will send this text to you free of charge every single day, straight to your phone. All you got to do is text me at my number, which is 305-384-6894. And every morning when that daily motivation message comes out, because you are a member of my text community, you'll be receiving this message straight to your phone free of charge. The number's down below in the description. Secondly, Work on Your Game University. Some of you who listen to this show are wondering, is there any way that I could work with Dre directly? Is there any way I could have somebody like Dre as my personal coach? That I could have Dre help me with my business. That could help me with my mindset, help me with my process, help me just get back on track. I used to be on track, but right now I'm not on track. Can somebody like Dre help me with something like that? The answer is someone like Dre can help you. We can even do you one better. Dre himself could possibly help you, but there's only one way that can happen. You must be a member of Work on Your Game University. I don't help anyone anywhere other than Work on Your Game University. All right. So if you want to be helped by me, you got to go to Work on Your Game University, workonyourgameuniversity.com. The link is down below in the description, along with the number, so you can get my daily motivation text message. That is where I'll do all my coaching. That's where all our courses are. That's where all my high level training is at inside of the university. So go to workonyourgameuniversity.com. Link down below in the description. Now, with all that said, let's get into today's topic, which is how to build a great reputation. First of all, let's get a definition of this word reputation so that we're all on the same page. Definition is the beliefs or opinions that are generally held about someone or something. In other words, the consensus. What is the consensus idea around this thing, this person, this entity? That is what a reputation is. And I would guess that most of you who listen to this show want to have a really solid reputation with your public. Again, and as I've talked about this in the past, when it comes to reputation and the public, doesn't mean the whole world. Doesn't mean when you walk into the mall, you have to get mobbed by a bunch of teenagers. It just means the people for whom you need to matter. What do they think about you? What is their view of you? That's the reputation that we're talking about here today. And today we're going to get into what are some things you can do to actually build that reputation and maintain it. Point number one, topic once again, is how to build a great reputation. Number one, become great and noted for being great at one specific thing. Now, you could be great at 13 things. You could be great at 3 things. I suggest you start with being noted for being great at one thing. Reputation is nothing more than the belief in the image that other people have of you. That's it. That's all reputation is. What do people think about you? What's the picture that they have in their mind about you when your name comes up? And you could be you. It could be your company. It could be your family. It could be your community. It could be anybody who you are a part of a group with, any part that you are a part of a collective with. What is the reputation that you as a company, you as a person, you as a family has, and what do people think about when they see you? Reputation could also be a form of your brand. Now, brand is specifically when we're talking in the professional world, but here when I talk reputation, this could be anything. This could be even outside anything that involves business or money. So what is that view people have of you? And you want to control your reputation intentionally by becoming known for something specific with which people can associate your name. What is that specific thing people know about you? Give you some examples. What's Tiger Woods known for? Golf. What's Barack Obama known for? I guess we can say hope, I think would be a good one for him. Martin Luther King. It was about the freedom of his people. Serena Williams, tennis. Oprah Winfrey, having these empathetic, heartfelt conversations. What is that one? What's going to be that one thing for you? And the one thing doesn't have to be a specific topic because, hey, maybe you play basketball too, but somebody like Michael Jordan or LeBron, they might already have that topic locked down. You can own an intersection of topics. So even if it's not that one specific thing, it can be an intersection of things. So for example, when I first got on the internet, the way that I first started to build my reputation was I was the guy who was putting out free workouts on YouTube. That was my thing. Free workouts on how to practice basketball on YouTube. I wasn't even talking. When I first started putting videos on YouTube, I wasn't even talking in the videos. It was just, I was just doing drills. People didn't know what my voice sounded like because I was just doing drills and not saying anything. But I was showing them how to practice basketball, and you had to go to YouTube and just look up the videos and you could watch it. That's how my reputation first began, was this guy doing that. Nowadays, my reputation, the biggest thing in my reputation now is that I'm giving people the game in a real, direct, no fluff, no holds barred way. That's my thing. Now, even though I talk about a lot of different topics, if we go through the topic list, I'm just looking at just the latest episodes we've done here on the show. Getting funding for your business, networking, the majority is always wrong, how to escape mental slavery, false beliefs you have about money, why you are who you are, don't be productive, be effective, your antidote to casual complacency, Parkinson's law applied to business, keys to confidence. If you want peace, go to war, invest in yourself, how sales and marketing work together. I talk about a lot of different topics in a general. If you were to just look at that, you could say this guy's talking about a lot of different topics when it comes to mindset and business. But my reputation is not any one of these individual topics. My reputation is this guy gets straight to the point, no bullshit, no fluff, no BS. That's my reputation. And I know that. And so I can talk about any topic that I want, because whatever topic I talk about, the delivery is going to be the same every time. No BS, no fluff, straight to the point, no bullshit. That's what people know me for. And many of you who listen to it, if you listen to this material consistently enough, that's the thing that you're going to know. So notice that for most of these people, their reputation is based on a specific thing. So what is that specific thing you want people to know you for in your world? Again, this doesn't have to be the whole world. I noted some people who are world famous, but you don't have to be world famous. You just got to be famous to the people you need to be famous to. People who have strong reputations usually base them on one thing. And although that one thing may not represent their entire lives, that's not all they're about. I'm sure Tiger Woods is about more than just golf, and Serena Williams does more than play tennis, and Oprah is more than just having conversations on TV. They do other things, of course. It is the main thing that we think of when their name comes up. That's what your reputation is. And you're going to do the same thing with yourself, because people are going to think of one specific thing when you come up. People are not going to think of all 30 things that you're about. Because why? Because people ain't got time for that. All right, ain't nobody got time for that. Thinking about all the stuff that you're about. Nobody really cares that much about you to go that deep into everything that you're about. They know enough about you that they can identify you. That's it. People just need to know enough to identify you. All right, what's Tiger Woods' kids' names? All right, many of you don't know. But if you ask Tiger Woods about himself, he'll probably mention that he's a father. But what do we know about Tiger Woods? We know that he's damn good at golf. All right, that's what we're known for. All right, so what's that thing going to be for you? All right, so consciously craft your reputation. You are consciously crafting your reputation based on the actions that you take and the image and message that you broadcast to the world. The good news about it today is that you control this pretty much 100%. Now, 30 years ago, maybe the mass media, who you might not have been a part of, controlled what your image was. These days, you control the image because you got access to all these social media apps. How many social media apps you got on your phone right now? You control your image. You can put out whatever image you want. You can make yourself look however you want to look based on the way that you put yourself out there. So if you want to be an Instagram ass model, you could be that. You want to be a book person, we're always talking about the books that you're reading, you could do that. You want to be a guy in a suit, you can do that. You want to be a man who's always showing off his abs because you work out all the time and all your pictures are shirtless, you can do that too. Whatever you want to do, you can do it. The internet makes it available. Social media makes it available for you to control your image. This is one of the great things about the internet and social media, is that you cannot blame anyone else on creating a narrative around your image. You are in control of it. Point number 2. Today's topic, once again, is how to build a great reputation. Number 2, associate with others who have strong, positive reputations. Remember what the law of association states. We talked about the law of association in episode number 1880. Law of association states you become the average of the people you spend the most time with. So who are you spending time with? Who are your friends? When people think about you, who are the other people they think about? Who are you associated with? Any of you who has books on Amazon? I know I have some authors who listen to this show. I know that when I go look up my own self on Amazon. I'm looking at one of my books. So I look at my author page on Amazon. They have a little sidebar that says this author is, they say other authors commonly associated with this guy. So let me go to my Amazon page and let me see if I can find it. So it's Dre Baldwin, has about the author, has some of my books listed. My book, Work on Your Game, right now is on sale for $13.50, by the way. If you're listening to this, well, by the time you hear this, it probably won't be on sale anymore. But anyway, let me see if I can find this. I got so many books on here. They have it. Oh, here it is. Then it has customers also bought items by, and then it mentions a bunch of other people. So it doesn't say associated, but basically it's associating me with these other guys. So, and they're all guys. So they got Tim Grover, who wrote Relentless, Hazard Lee, who I don't know, Eric Thomas, who I know, Brendan Kane, I don't know him, Daryl Eves, I know him, Sean Cannell, I don't know him. Let me see what Sean Cannell wrote. I don't know what book he wrote. Okay, Sean wrote a book about YouTube. And let's see, Daryl, I know he wrote a book about YouTube. Brendan Kane, he wrote a book about how to get a bunch of followers on social media. I've heard of him. I know Eric Thomas. Hazard Lee, I don't know him. He wrote a book called The Art of Clear Thinking. A stealth fighter pilot's, what does it say? Stealth fighter pilot's timeless rules for making tough decisions. Okay, sounds like a good book. I would eventually read that. But anyway, the reason that I'm pointing that out is that they're associating me. All right, they're associating my name with these other people. And ideally, I want my name to be associated with people who are actually bigger than me, who are more known than me. Why? Because having my name associated with them makes me look bigger. So I don't want to be associated with people who are smaller. I want people who are associated. I hope all of those authors have books that have more reviews and have sold more copies than mine. Why? Because that association is going to make me look good. All right. So I welcome that association to whoever those people are. So you need to associate with people who have strong, positive reputations, who having their name next to your name makes you look good. Who are those people for you? This is not just, again, who you become, but it's also how other people begin to perceive you. People judge you based on the company that you keep. Would you agree? So keep the company of people who are of high repute, because their reputations will rub off on you, like it or not, whatever their reputation is. So if you hang out with some losers or people who are seen as losers, then you're going to be perceived as a loser because you're hanging with them. All right. So if the people in your family are losers and you're hanging with them all the time, well, guess what that makes you? Do I need to fill in the blank? All right. This is why you need to get outside, get active, and associate with other people who are also high-level individuals. Where do you find these people? That may be the question what some of you is asking right now. Where you find them is you need to go to the places where high-level individuals gather. Now, high-level is relative. Who are the high-level people to you? In your eyes, who are high-level people? Wherever they gather all together at the same time in the same place, you go there. Good news about the world that we're in today is that you can get on the internet and you can find these gatherings. They're usually called events, conferences, seminars, masterminds. All of you are familiar with these terms, right? And you usually have to buy a ticket to be there. You should do this. I just told you a couple episodes ago, I just bought a ticket to go to an event. I just bought a $3,500 conference ticket. This year I went to another conference that was, how much was that ticket? That ticket was $2,500. I went to other events where the ticket was, well, actually I didn't have to pay for the ticket. I had to pay like $100 for the material, but there's a $30,000 program now I'm part of. I'll pay for a ticket for that. I bought another event ticket that was maybe $400, $500, and then I had to pay for the hotel, I had to pay for the flight, the travel, and the opportunity cost. I'm not telling you this to impress you, but to impress upon you. I pay to go to these events. Why? Because I want to be around other high-level people with whom I can associate. Because if I just stay in my house and only talk to who I see in the elevator, in the hallway, I don't know who these people are. I want to go to where they're gathering all together so I can talk to 100 high-level people all at the same time, not hope that I run into one of them randomly in the street. Everybody get what I'm saying here? And also, when you're on the internet, you put yourself out there in such a way, you put forward a certain presentation that will attract other high-level people to see you as their equal, and now they'll start coming to you, and then you can get information and you can know about stuff that you otherwise wouldn't have known about. Somebody might reach out to me on a DM on Instagram because they see the way I'm presenting myself. They see me as someone who's high level. Now they want to talk to me. And actually, I have associates who I'm dealing with right now who met me just that way. Like I was looking on Instagram, I was looking at this person, and I noticed you that they were following. So now I looked at you and then I saw your stuff. And that's how I came to reach out to you. And that's how it happens. This is how it happens in business, folks. So you got to be outside, though. I want to talk about being outside all the time for a reason. You need to be outside so you can be seen, heard, and known. Associate with other people, even if you are not quite sure what you want your reputation to be just yet. Hanging around other high-level people will give you many ideas, because when you're around high-level people, they're doing high-level stuff. So whatever they're doing, you should probably look into that and see how you can borrow it and use it for yourself. Okay. Point number 3. Today's topic, once again, is how to build a strong, positive reputation. Number 3, never trade your reputation for anything material. All right. It takes a lifetime to build a reputation. It only takes a short period of time to lose or destroy a reputation. So never trade your reputation for anything. Never trade your reputation for anything. There's nothing worth the trade-off of a reputation, especially anything material like money. Your reputation is worth a whole lot more. Understand that your reputation can make back anything that you could possibly lose, and it can defend you anytime that something is in danger. You're in a challenging situation. Your reputation can fortify you. And I'm just looking at my notes. It can fortify and defend you anytime you're in a challenging situation, but it doesn't work the other way around. Okay, so it only works in this direction. In other words, if you trade your reputation for money, so let's say someone of very low repute, person with a very bad reputation wants to do a business deal with you, and you do it because of the money that you can make. Now your reputation gets sullied because you're standing next to a person with a very weak and poor reputation. All right, you can't buy your reputation back with the money that you made from working with that person. You get what I'm saying? That reputation is forever destroyed. And the money is not going to be worth it, because the money is eventually going to run out, but your reputation will stick with you. And if your reputation is destroyed, that's going to stick with you. So you can't buy your reputation back with money. So never trade your reputation for $1. But if you are out of money, on the other hand, let's say you were completely broke, your reputation can help you make 10 times that same amount of money you would have got from dealing with that, low repute individual. Your reputation can do things for you that you could not do materially and physically by yourself. As the saying goes, your reputation precedes you. Your reputation can do things for you that you can never do tangibly yourself, and never trade your reputation for something tangible, because, again, it works in one direction, does not work in the other direction. So with all that said, let's recap today's class, which is how to build a great reputation. And actually, let me give you one more before I recap this point. In the book, I believe it was the 33 Strategies of War. Yeah, it was the 33 Strategies of War. Actually, it might have been the 48 Laws of Power. I can't remember which one. Two of my favorite books, both by Robert Greene. We talked about how there was a king back in the days, and this is based on this was a true story. His town was under siege. It was about to be under siege. In other words, a rival army was coming to attack his town, and the rival army had way more soldiers than this king had. And he knew that at the gates of his town, by the time these soldiers were close to approaching, there was nothing that he could really do to fend them off. And he knew that if his soldiers went and fought, they were probably going to lose because they were severely outnumbered. But the generals, he as a general of his army, and the rival general who was coming to take over his town, they knew of each other because they had worked together in the past, but they had become enemies. So now this enemy was coming to take over this king's town. So what the king did, because he knew he was outnumbered, this is what he decided to do. He ordered his troops to open the gates of the city, so that don't even force the rival army to have to fight to get into the gates. Open the gates wide open as if we're welcoming them in. And then what the king did is he went and sat on a high perch above the gates of the town, to where the rival army, when they started to approach, they could see him. And he was just sitting there playing a musical instrument as if in a meditative state. He was just playing a musical instrument by himself in a meditative state, and the rival army could see the gates are wide open. There's the king that we can kill and chop his head off, and we can go take this town. Is wide open for the taking. So when the rival army showed up to the gate, they saw him, and the general, again, they knew each other from back in the day. The general of the rival army saw the king sitting at the top of the gate playing this musical instrument in a meditative state with the gates wide open, and he paused and he thought about it for a second, and then he ordered an immediate retreat, even though the army there that they would have been taken over had nowhere near the firepower to fight back. Why did he order an immediate retreat? Because that king who was sitting there meditating on the perch, he had a reputation for being cunning. He had a reputation for laying traps. He had a reputation for basically playing possum. In other words, looking like you had an easy opportunity to defeat him, and then he would sucker you in and kill you. And even though at that time, he actually had nothing. He was bluffing, in other words. And if you plays card games, he was bluffing hard, but that bluff worked. Why? Because his reputation preceded him. And this is the same thing that can work for you. Now, with all that said, let's recap today's class, which says how to build a great reputation, defined as the beliefs or opinions that are greatly generally held about someone or something. Number one, become great and noted for being great at one specific thing. Because all reputation is a belief and an image that other people have of you. You control this by intentionally being known for something specific with which people can associate you. The great thing about today's world is that you can craft and develop and maintain your reputation as you see fit through the internet. Number two, associate with others who have strong, positive reputations, or just through media, period, not just the internet. Number two, associate with others who have strong, positive reputations. This is the law of association. You become the average of the people you spend the most time with, and whatever they have on their names gets rubbed off on you simply because you are standing next to them. This is how it works, positively or negatively. Number three, never trade your reputation for anything material. Your reputation is worth more. You cannot buy back reputation with money, but you can make money with reputation. Understand that those do not work both ways. That is not a two-way street. It's a one-way street. So make sure you never trade your reputation for anything of material, because material things rust out and run out, but reputation never does. It sticks with you no matter what it is. So be smart about how you use yours and how you trade on it. All that said, text me. Tell me the best point you got from today's class. My number is 305-384-6894. Also, let me know you want to get that daily motivation text I send out every day for free. My number is 305-384-6894. Secondly, Work on Your Game University. You ready to build a reputation for yourself in business? You ready to trade on that reputation? Actually start making the money that you want to make in your business. You want to do it now, not like 6 months from now or 10 years from now, or whenever that pie in the sky thing you keep telling yourself you're going to eventually get to. You're ready to start making some change now in your life? Go to workonyourgameuniversity.com and stop bullshitting and let's get to it. Work on your game. Dre, all